and welcome to the Skating Lesson Podcast. I'm Jennifer Kirk, a former U.S. ladies competitor and a 3-time world team member.
I'm David Leese. I was never a world championship competitor, but I do watch the event on TV every year. Go Latvia!
So, in this video, we're going to discuss the ladies event at the World Championships. So let's start with the short program. There was some discussion about Karolina Kostner's scores in the short program, not thinking that she should have been in second place after that portion of the event because she missed the second triple on the triple toe combination. What did you think about her scores?
I was fine with the components. I think that she did have a better program than Una Kim, even with the fall. I think that it was such a better program, and I feel that way strongly. I think that Una Kim's short, it just didn't do it for me this year. And personally, as one judge on the panel, I would have given the mark to Karolina. I think that Una Kim, it starts with the music. I didn't love it. I didn't love the whole thing. I don't know how many times, Una has a different body, so they've really, and Karolina does too, they've both really created their own style that's unique and interesting to watch, but I don't know how many times we see Una go to the left and put the arm to the right, and then she kind of swoops around, or does like a little Hydra blade type thing. Like, it's a little bit redundant. For me, this short, it didn't do it for me. The way the long did, I think the long really had the great music, and it started with that. So, and to me, I thought, you know what? I thought the judges really, they judged the components correctly. Whether or not Karolina's triple toe was around, I think, I personally don't think it was all the way around, but I think that that's, the fault of the caller. And I think that ultimately it didn't impact the outcome of the overall event, but I do think that that was something that the caller got wrong.
Yeah, I think it should have been the under rotation, but I think that was one instance as opposed to the men's event where missing a jump didn't affect the rest of the program. You talk about Una's magnificent long program. This was the moment of competition for me because overall I didn't feel like the ladies event was that strong. I kept waiting for somebody to have that standout skate, and she did it. The door was open. She walked right through it. A couple years away from competition, coming back and doing that, she proved that she deserved that Olympic title, world title. I mean, she is the best lady skater in the world today, and the fact that she was able to handle the pressure and come back in competition,
amazing.
Yeah,
shut up. I was really what is decision making? But it worked for her, and you know what? It worked for her. So, and she really has had now 2 clean long programs this year, which we never saw before in her career. So I really feel like she's better than ever in many ways. She did make a decision to, it looks like she went back to her old flip technique a little bit. She did get an edge call in the short, not in the long though. But it's been consistent this year, whereas the Olympic year, me and my friends would be at Skate America gripping each other when she went into the flip because she had just changed to try to do it on the correct edge, and it was so iffy. And I mean, she was phenomenal this weekend. Phenomenal. The music was such a smart decision. I think we've all seen Les Miserables. I think that there's a big crossover with skating fans and theater fans and Academy Awards, and I think we all know that music. And
that comes from our hearts, yeah.
You can listen to it alone. I think the choreography is actually better. It was just a better concept for her, and really just fantastic. I think it's a program that we'll go back and rewatch. It was just amazing. That her triple-lutz, triple toe, I could just rewind it and watch it all day. You go and you compare it to Tuktamysheva's, who does a very good triple-lutz, triple toe, but I'm like, I saw Una Kim's. She's covering like a football field on that. It's unreal to see her skate. And you know what? I think that the music really helped her. And I think that she's a very good artist. Is she the best artist? I think maybe they got a little bit carried away with her interpretation marks with some of the 10s. I don't know if she's a 10, but I think that it was a phenomenal performance, and it's hard not to get excited when someone skates that well.
I agree. Karolina Kostner's long program started out with a bloody nose. I think all of us were thinking, what is this going to do? And it seemed like at the beginning of the skate it didn't affect her at all, but I could tell. She's somebody, and I was thinking about this last night, you kind of have to accept this about her. She's never going to have that focus that someone like Una Kim has. You have to understand, to have her skate a clean short and a clean long program at an event is just, it's an anomaly that she would ever do that. So I think you go into an event expecting her to make a mistake. You could see when she was doing that posing section in her free program, she was getting so into it, and I could tell she's going to miss that loop. She's not focused. Sure enough, she misses the loop. I called it at the beginning of the season too, that last triple Salchow at the end of the program is make or break for the entire mood of that program when you walk away from it. And that was a +3 fall. I mean, she went splat on the ice. That fall hurt. And you could tell, I just couldn't, I knew going in, I thought, is she even going to take off for this? She's not skating fast enough. Her head doesn't seem to be in it. And I think Carolina is just somebody who has that program, the components and everything, but who's never going to be able to, unfortunately, have that focus that someone like Kim has.
Yeah, I mean, it was just... I was heartbroken. I love that program so much. And when she was skating it, the camera angle actually cut off my favorite moves. I was a little bit mad about that because we didn't get to see her hip thrust. But she was so into the performance. She gives 110% into the performance, and perhaps that is why she loses focus on the jumps, because she has very good technique, but she was so into it that when she went into the loop, I was like, you know, like it was just, and I honestly, I don't think that she would have won anyway had she been clean. It would have been interesting to see what happened, but I think that they would have put her first in the short, even with the lesser content. I think but I don't know if she could have beaten Yuna last night, even if they were both perfect. You know, that last jump, it's make or break, and it was a thud last night. Oh my Lord, it was just...
Oh, those falls hurt so bad too.
And Lori Nickel really loves being in the Kiss and Cry. I noticed that she speaks loudly enough so that the camera can always hear her. I find it so interesting.
She looks great.
She looks fantastic. She's doing a very good job with her choreography, and, you know, good for her to have her moment in the sun. But it's just funny. Like, she was after the short with Carolina, like, wonderful marks, genuine marks, beautiful skate, you know, good judging, you know, and I was like, oh man.
She and Megan Duhamel, we should just have like them both, the two of them in the Kiss and Cry, just what they say.
Megan Duhamel gets my award forever, but Lori can be the silver medalist there. So
how about Mao Asada? She was the bronze medalist here. I thought it was a strong event for her. When we had PJ on the preview show, she said that it seemed like next season was going to be Mao's season, and she thought this was kind of a stepping stone, getting her momentum back, and I couldn't agree more, and I think that's what epitomized this event for Mao. Rocky short program, missing the loop. Long program, though, what I really liked to see was after the mistakes on the first two jumps, she didn't give up. She kept going, did a great triple Salchow, which she missed at Four Continents. I actually love her Swan Lake. I think the footwork is fantastic. I love the spiral at the end. And like we said, after Four Continents, she has her joy back, and I think this is getting her momentum.
Yeah, I think that... I think Yuna Kim is a competitor that really gets under Mao's skin. And I think that, you know, we all have those competitors in life and those rivals.
Those fans, you would think that, I mean, if I had such, like, fervor fans, I would, yeah.
They both have those fans, though. Both of their fans do a very good job of promoting those girls and tearing down the competition. And I think that it is, I mean, the YouTube videos speak for themselves. But I think that it's, you know what, it's great. I love it. But I think that watching Mao, you know what, she went for the triple axel. She was a little, but she was strong. Mao was a strong skater last night, and I think she deserved to move up where she was. I think she's definitely a top 3 skater in the world, and I did see improvement, even though it wasn't a perfect skate. She really had that attack last night that we've started to see Mao come back. It looks like her confidence is, you know, itching forward, and it wasn't a perfect skate, but I think next fall, Mao will take this summer and really
start that momentum again. Yeah, and two skaters who also had strong showings, Murakami and Lee. Surprise skates, I would think, from both of them. We didn't talk about them in our prediction show, not even really on our radar, but Lee had such a fun, long program coming in fourth in that portion of the event.
Love her.
Yeah, love her. Just, I see her future is so bright, and just clean skates for both of them, under rotations for Murakami, but I really liked her long program. I liked the tango. I thought the dress worked, the face, she really gets into it. The technique, though, not strong. That leg kick that you love so much, I know, Dave, that you love, it really does detract from the overall feeling of the program. But she's a fighter and she's a competitor, and I think both of those women, their future is very bright.
Yeah, I think Tony Wheeler wants a 0.5 deduction for the leg kick in his revised code of points. But I think that it was really, you know what, great skate for Kanako. She's actually had the potential. She was a world junior champion. And she's someone we've been expecting to really rise to the top. It's taken her a little bit of time. But I think that she could do a very good job here. Her style, it could be better, but the long is a much better program than the short program. Mm-hmm. There's still a little bit of sloppiness, but she's moving in the right direction. They got that technique. But Kanako is actually someone, I could see her doing a quad before she did a triple axel, maybe a quad toe.
Mhm.
She has that kind of, you see her go into with the 3-turn into the jump. I could really actually see her busting out a quad. I think it would take that for her to really become a true threat in the world of skating for a gold medal. I think that it's something that I could actually see happen. She seems like a gutsy girl. So
I agree.
and Lee, I love her. She brings me back to the days of Lu Chen and Michelle Kwan. I'm, seeing Li Mingzhu there, but it's the skating on the ice that really brings me back, and I absolutely love it. So I love it. She's such a good energy and such a good personality out there.
Well, it was also wonderful to see the U.S. ladies earn 3 spots heading into the Olympics.
Finally!
I know, right? They did their job. But I think individually, as we look at Ashley Wagner, I think each of them, they had their strengths and they had their weaknesses in this event. Overall, I was disappointed with Ashley's skates here. No egregious errors except for that little fall in the long program. But I think it was more what she didn't do as opposed to what she did do at this event. So much has been improved in her skating since going to John Nicks. I think she's as artistic as she's going to get. The spins have improved immensely. The layback is a beautiful position, just phenomenal. But not going for the triple-triple, you can't. It's time, Ashley. It's time to try that triple-triple. It's time. And if she wants to get top 5 next season at Sochi, be in the hunt for a medal, she needs to add that triple-triple. And there's a lack of a killer instinct, I think, in some respects that I see from her. I don't know. I didn't leave that event with a really enthusiastic feeling about her performances. How about you?
The psychology of Ashley Wagner, watching her on the couch as an armchair psychologist, is fascinating because she has that grit and that personality, and then it looks like she kind of like second guesses herself, and that used to be, I think, the cause of a lot of her 2-foots as opposed to technique. I think they tweaked it a bit, but she used to be a 2-footer, and it looked like maybe it was like a little second guessing, and she got through that, and that's not really a problem anymore with her. She's a little bit clunky, and I think that there's something about the way she lands her jumps with her body that it's just, I don't think it lends itself to that ride out of the first jump to get the second triple popped up in the air. I think she actually was going for the triple-triple in the short because she didn't put the arms over the head, but it didn't happen. And this, even after the short, I still felt like the door was open for Ashley to medal. And honestly, at the end of this performance, watching the top ladies, watching Yuna, Carolina, and Mao, I don't think that Ashley really compares to them. It's not a slight against her. I think that she's a very, very good skater. I think she's in a very difficult field right now. And she, maybe if the field was what it was like last year and Mao was skating how she was skating and Yuna wasn't there, I definitely would see her as someone on the podium. But there was an open door this weekend and she didn't step through it. And I know people thought that we were attacking her because we were upset with the Nationals results and I said that she wasn't a great skater there. I think that she's a good skater. I think she's about 4th or 5th best in the world, and I don't think there's any shame in that.
No.
But I think when you look to, I think that she's a phenomenal accomplishment, but she seems to be someone who wants to be on that podium, but at the same time, she's not putting the technical content out there to win. And the other girls just have these skating skills, the top 3 that they're incredible, some of the best we've ever seen. And Ashley's aren't some of the best we've ever seen. They're good, they're adequate, they're not.
They've gotten better, and I think
yes.
That's the thing, that it has improved. But what I think just upsets me as a fan is what I loved so much when I first saw Ashley was she had that grit, and she had that attack, and when she missed the team in 2010, she was going to let us know she was upset about that and that she was going to come back stronger than ever. But I feel like she's kind of shied away from that a little bit by not trying the triple-triples. You talk about the 2-foot, but for her to get that back, she needs to not skate scared. And I felt this week there was a little bit of she was holding back and skating a bit scared. Let's talk about losing the long program to Gracie Gold.
Yeah, I mean, she lost the long program to Gracie Gold for the 2nd time this year, and that's interesting as it sets up like a little mini rivalry domestically next year. I think Gracie Gold, I go back to the choreographer. I want to know if Gracie Gold has ever seen Life is Beautiful. And I want to know if her choreography ever has either. Because the whole thing about Life is Beautiful, and Jeremy Abbott did a beautiful program to this, and he really did a great job at NHK. It was the time he really nailed that program. And it was the year after the Olympics. And the thing about Life is Beautiful that makes it such an effective program is that it's so bittersweet and it twinges at your heart because it's so sad and so uplifting at the same time. And when I honestly, and I think that, those who've seen the movie, obviously the music, it brings it back. It's so, you're just so moved by, Roberto Benigni and everything. When you watch Gracie, it's just like, like she has not a clue what's going on.
This is going to sound horrible, but I get pageant girl from her a bit.
She would have a beautiful tiara. She has to look.
It's the arms and it was a great first year.
It's the Kim Meisner arms.
Yeah.
The Kim Meisner arms are there.
And it's a great first year senior program, but and the smile, the red lipstick, and the sequins. I mean, it's a little pageanty.
I think that they tried to, dress her up because there were a lot of criticisms when she won junior nationals that she was not going to have the kind of artistry needed to win, and it's still a work in progress. But you know what? See the movie next time when you do a program, and because it does.
I have seen the movie, but even if you do see the movie, use some of that into the choreography, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you watch it and it's, but she did do a very good job. I thought she held it together better than many people feared because she has such an up and down history, which makes her exciting to watch because you never know what you're going to get. And I think that, there was a lot of improvements there. I think she did deliver kind of as best you can expect for Gracie Gold at her first Worlds. It was not...
Yeah, great result for her first Worlds.
And I think, on the flip side, you look at Caitlin Osmond, and she kind of is someone on par with Gracie. We talked to PJ Kwong about her, realizing that the World Championships are capital W, capital C. She did a great job in the short. It didn't look like she was having any problems. But I think when you practice then with that top group and you're in the mix, it was a heartbreaking long program for her, and I think it's something that she'll have to kind of build off of. And we're not sure if Joanie Rochette is coming back or not. She's kind of hinted. It'll be really interesting to see if we see Joanie in the future because she was there watching, and I don't know if Joanie could. I think she could potentially medal against the top girls. I don't think it's a wide open space. She would really have to bring it, and I think that's a decision she's going to have to make. If she wants to come back and be fifth. She's had such a great pro career, but she is certainly capable of competing with Caitlin. I think that would be really fun to watch at Canadian Nationals to see the two of them do great programs. But Caitlin, it was disappointing for her, and disappointing to watch.
Yeah, and I think not unexpected, or it was kind of expected for me. She almost skates kamikaze style into her jumps, and the one word that kept going through my mind in her long program was just sloppy. And she has so much natural just charisma on the ice and can cover the sloppiness when you land the jumps. But I felt like in the long program, even the opening flip toe, she was leaning back, she was kind of all over the place, and I thought, she doesn't have her legs underneath her for this program. It's almost like she had too much excitement and energy, and she needs to learn how to rein that in. The top 10 finished at her first World, not so bad. So as we wrap things up here, Dave, what is your one takeaway from the ladies' event?
Well, I didn't think that I was going to be that way. I'm not usually like a crier, or my heart broke for Akiko Suzuki. It was something that it like has stuck with me. Like I was thinking about it today. Like she really had just such a really terrible long program for her, and just we've seen her skate brilliantly earlier in the year, and we know that she's capable of it. She's, again, I think, like you say with Carolina, she's someone who, for her to do two perfect programs in an event, it's really not, something that routinely is going to happen with that killer instinct. And we mentioned it in our preview, and it really happened here, and it was hard. It was kind of like the Alyssa Zisny performance of the year for me. Whereas, it's wonderful to watch the top skaters, and then you see the skaters that you kind of root for, and it was just so sad for her. So sad for her. I think because it's a great program, and she's a wonderful skater, but it didn't happen, and it really didn't happen on the biggest stage this year. So
yeah, hopefully she'll be able to come back next season.
How about you? What was your moment of the championship?
You gotta go Yoonah Kim. That long program, just two clean skates. You can't beat that. She's phenomenal. That's all I can say. She's phenomenal. Well, we want to know, what was your moment in the ladies? You can leave us a comment, send us an email at theskatinglesson@gmail.com. Want to know what were your takeaways from the event as well.
And as always, we'd like to remind you to hold an edge and look like Carolina Costner.
Ooh, very
Bye, guys.
sexy. Bye.